Hey guys, sorry I haven't seen you in a while. I've got a few things to say. Firstly, I knocked my tripod over, so the lens is fucked, so sorry about this video. It probably looks like it's at a weird angle, it's just there's something up with the lens. I'm gonna need to get a new one, I think, which is great, more money to spend. Secondly, as you probably would have seen on Twitter, I got inked, so yeah, it's my little butterflies. And thirdly, I wanted to apologise because I promised you guys a really creative video and I literally have like at least three ideas in the pipeline of what to make a video on, but when I sit down to write them I just have too much writer's block. I kind of know what I want to do, I kind of know what I want my next one to be, but it's just not coming to fruition at the moment. So I apologise that this isn't the video that you've been promised, so instead I'm doing a rant video. Anyway. So this isn't aimed at anyone in particular or any fandom in particular, this is just stuff that I've been seeing at the moment, and I was talking to someone online about it and I've mentioned it to some friends and I just wanted to say it in a video so I don't have to keep tweeting and annoying people with my tweets. Firstly, I'm not against shipping at all. I have so many OTPs, it's ridiculous. I'm not against shipping real people, I'm not against shipping fictional people, as long as it's done in a respectful way. Remember 2012? Like, I know it's annoying when people go, we don't want a repeat of 2012, but really, like, when fandoms and fangirls can be disrespectful, or fanboys are disrespectful, it can put a lot of pressure on a fave, or whatever you want to call them. Get away from the tripod! Oh, I can tell you're been outside, you've got muddy paws. I think the main issue at the moment is remembering who is in charge of their own relationships, because when you are a fangirl and you dedicate your life to someone, it can, like, take over your life, whatever. Like, if you want to spend your time on that sort of thing, that's fine, but it should never come to people thinking they know what's best for the person. For example, everyone knows that I ship Dan and Phil. I will not tell them who they should and shouldn't be with because it's not my place. If a ship sinks, for example, like Frerard or, sorry to make you sad, or Troiler, or Raiden, or many ships that have sunk in the past, or Cockles, because as much as I love to ship Misha Collins and Jensen Ackles, I know that really they're both married with kids and it's not really going to happen, and I have to get my head around the fact that although they're very cute together, the ship is not going to work. If one of your OTP goes off and either gets married or has a baby and is obviously either they weren't in a relationship or if they were, they're not in a relationship anymore, everybody should leave them alone. Everybody should bear in mind that the people in charge, that's a weird word, in charge of the relationship are the people in the relationship. And I guess sometimes friends and family can have input if they think something's going wrong, but the fangirls don't have any say. Yes, I'm talking about One Direction. I'm not only talking about One Direction, but that is the main reason I started ranting about all this and it's become a video. With any fandom, I know you notice the people who are being provocative more than you notice the people who are being respectful or quiet about things or whatever. I understand that, so I'm sure that there are lots of Directioners who are very nice and do not force people to be gay or whatever. I'm talking about the people accusing the girl, who I know her name is Brianna, calling her a liar, calling her a media tool, saying she's lied about being pregnant. She's a human being. But think of 2012, think of how Dan and Phil were feeling. Do you want your fave to feel like that? Okay, maybe she's not your fave, but if she's dating your fave, you should have some respect. I maybe was never a major shipper, okay, but I liked Frerard in the past as a couple, but if they're married with kids, I just let the ship sink. Is it sad when your OTP ship whatever sinks? Yes, it is. Is it sadder if you try and force people to be gay or be in a relationship and put loads of pressure on them and call their girlfriend a liar? Yes, it is. Yes, I know there are conspiracy theories. No, I don't want to hear them. I'm not interested in you DMing them to me. Yes, I'm sure they're very good theories in their own way and they're probably really well thought out and stuff, but that's not the point. The problem with fandoms, and I've said this before, is that people forget that their faves are actual humans. They want to own them and tell them what to do. Stop tweeting about supporting Larry and how the girl's fake and blah blah blah. Firstly, like I've said, it's not good to put pressure on people or force them into a relationship because it would make you happy. Secondly, the media surrounding One Direction, whoever that is, the label, the producers, whatever, those people are not going to create a media scheme to get less publicity, right? If something's getting a band publicity, for example, a ship, that's getting One Direction publicity, even if people don't know their music very well. They've seen Larry all over Tumblr and all sorts. People will say, I shipped Destiny before I even watched Supernatural. It's one of those things. Ships bring publicity. Why would somebody create a media storm to destroy a ship and therefore destroy the publicity? I'm not saying that I want people's ship to sink, but maybe if it's already gone, just move on and treat your faves with a bit of respect and let them make their own decisions. I didn't want this to be a One Direction rant, even though I know it's very Larry heavy, because that's what's going on at the moment. This is aimed at anyone in any fandom. I do not have any dislike for the Directioners. If they are behaving and being okay, that's fine. I don't care what music people listen to, what fandom people are in. I don't care if you ship real people, fictional people. I do not care. If you are a One Direction fan, good for you. You enjoy your time on Tumblr and Twitter and everything and write your fanfictions and do what you want, that is fine. But do not tweet theories about why this person's a liar and that person's fake and this person's a media tool, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be hurting your faves. It's going to be like 2012, but for One Direction. This was not meant to be a horrible video, basically, but at the same time, although I'm not a fan of Harry and Louis, I know that they're people, and I know how I would feel if it was Dan and Phil. If Dan or Phil got a new partner or got married or whatever and had a baby, okay, I'd be sad that the ship has sunk. Okay, I would have my theory on what the relationship was, you know, and maybe they broke up, and I'd have a right to have that theory, but I would not be tweeting about how one of their girlfriends is a liar or anything like that. Do you have the right to ship people? Yes, you do. But sometimes you need to behave when you're online, and sometimes, okay, there's having an opinion, but you don't always need to force it down other people's throats. I've seen people from that fandom forcing me to ship Larry and like One Direction, forcing other people in the fandom to ship Larry. I have seen people in the fandom, Dan and Phil's fans, forcing other members of the fandom to like Dan and Phil and saying if they don't ship it then they're fake and they're not real fans. You guys need to stop. Whether you're a fan of YouTube or bands or Supernatural or Sherlock or whatever the thing is, or Harry Potter, you cannot force people to have the same opinions as you. That's not going to work. Stop calling people fake for not shipping a thing or for shipping a thing. Because we are all people on the internet with opinions. We're not there in other people's lives. I'm not against people shipping what they were or even having their opinions now. I'm not against people who listen to One Direction or anything. This is not aimed specifically at that fandom. That's at people in any fandom who either force fans to ship a thing or force the ship on the people who it involves. That goes for any celebrity who has started a relationship with someone who wasn't the OTP, any celebrities who have moved on from the ship. If people have moved on, just let them move on. And if something is revealed that it was once a thing or is a thing, let that be, but stop forcing it on them. Back to One Direction, if you are tweeting, I support Larry, you're not supporting them, because what they want is to have a normal life and not have people force a relationship on them. By tweeting, I support Larry, you're not supporting what they want. If you've been doing that, I don't hate you for it or anything like that, I just don't agree. That's just my opinion, that supporting them would not involve doing that at all. I think I'm done with that. I think I've got that off my chest. I hope no one was offended by this. I hope